The bus that never arrives. I never thought I'd share this story. Maybe because I'm scared, or maybe because I'm not sure if it's real, or just hallucinations from my endless sleepless nights. But lately, things have gotten worse, and I feel like I have to tell someone, even if it's just to convince myself that I'm still here, still existing. My name is Mateo Cruz. I'm 29 years old, and I live in Quezon City, Philippines. If you've ever been here, you'd know the old residential area near the abandoned railway tracks where time seems to stand still, with peeling plaster walls on the houses, pothole-riddled streets, and the wind howling through the rusted train cars left to rot. That's where I grew up, and that's where everything started falling apart. My life is pretty straightforward, if you can call it that. Boring, really. I work the night shift at the power company's call center, from 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. It's just me sitting in a small, dimly lit office, answering phones that ring with complaints about blackouts. My house is pitch black, man. Fix it quick. They yell, and I jot it down. Promise the tech team will handle it in the morning. Honestly, I don't care much. It's a job to pay the rent, buy food, and get sleeping pills. The ones the doctor prescribes, but never work. I've had chronic insomnia for 5 years now. Every night, I lie awake on my creaky old bed, staring at the cracked ceiling, listening to the distant hum of traffic. Sleep comes to me like a rare visitor, and when it does, it brings nightmares. It all started with Alina, my little sister. She was only 17 when she disappeared. Alina was everything to me. Mum died young from illness. Dad ran off with another woman, leaving us siblings to fend for ourselves in that tiny house by the tracks. She was beautiful, always smiling, dreaming of becoming an artist. She painted these amazing pictures of the ocean, of Quezon streets at sunset. The last night I saw her was during a heavy rainstorm, about 5 years ago. She said she was going to a study group with friends and would be home late. I was getting ready for my shift and told her, call a taxi if it's pouring. Don't take the bus at night. She laughed it off, hugged me. You're worrying too much, bro. I'm grown up now. I'll be back soon. I nodded and left for work. The next morning, she wasn't home. I called her friends, the school, everyone. Police came, asked questions, but nothing. The last sighting was her, standing at a bus stop near the old railway place with no name, no sign. The neighbors said she looked weird, like she was waiting for someone from another world. No body, no witnesses, no trace. Just rumors that the area had a string of unsolved disappearances from 2008 to 2015. People whispered about ghosts or traffickers, but the cops just shook their heads. No evidence. From then on, I blamed myself. Why didn't I skip my shift to pick her up? Why did I let her go alone in the pouring rain? Every night, I lie there thinking about her, imagining her calling for help, but her voice swallowed by the city's darkness. Quezon City is packed with millions, but people vanish so easily. You can be lost in the crowd, and no one notices you're gone. I'm not afraid of ghosts or death. What terrifies me is the thought that Alina chose to disappear because of me, because I wasn't a good enough brother, too busy with work, not caring enough. That idea gnaws at me every night, turning sleep into an enemy. To cope, I started taking night walks, not romantic strolls under the moon, just wandering the neighborhood, smoking cigarettes, listening to the wind whistle through the abandoned tracks. It tires me out, and sometimes I manage a few hours of shut-eye. One night, about a month ago, my shift ended at 2 a.m. The air was chilly, carrying the damp earth smell from the rusted trains. I was exhausted, eyes burning from staring at the computer screen. Instead of grabbing a taxi, I decided to walk home about 3 kilometers through the empty streets. Quezon at that hour is like another world. No people, just stray dogs barking faintly, and yellow streetlights flickering. I walked along the road near the old railway, where folks used to say, spirits roamed. I didn't believe in that stuff. I only believe what I see and hear. Then I spotted that bus stop. It was tucked in a corner, under a massive ancient banyan tree. Just a rusted metal shelter, about 2 meters high, plastered with overlapping old ads, soda from 2010, faded horror movie posters, and some makeshift flyers for phone repairs. No route sign, no number, not even a proper bench, just a cold concrete slab to sit on. I'd passed by hundreds of times during the day, but never noticed it. By day, it looks normal, like an abandoned shack in the old neighborhood. But that night, under the flickering streetlight, it felt off, like it didn't belong. The air around it was thick, like invisible fog, and sounds, muffled. The wind died down. Distant dogs went silent, leaving only my heartbeat pounding in my chest. I checked my phone. 3 a.m. Time seemed to slow, the seconds hand crawling. I sat on the slab, lit a cigarette, just resting my feet, I told myself. Smoke curled up, mixing with the humid air. I thought about Alina, about the night she vanished. Was this the stop? The neighbor said, a non-existent bus stop. But here I was. I opened Google Maps on my phone, zoomed in, nothing. No icon, no marker. Weird, I muttered. Maybe app glitch. I stood to leave, but then from afar, I heard a rumbling engine, heavy, like a beast waking. An old bus, painted dull grey, headlights dim, rolled slowly toward the stop. It halted with a screeching brake, metal on bone. The door creaked open. Inside was dark, just the silhouette of the driver, an old man, skinny, in a faded shirt, cap pulled low over his face, eyes deep. He didn't look at me, just grumbled. Getting on, kid. This is the last ride. I hesitated. The last bus in this area runs at 11 p.m, and this wasn't normal. No route number, no company logo, no interior lights. But my legs ached. Home was far. Where does this go? I asked, voice shaky from the cold. He didn't answer, just held out his hand. How much for the fare? I fished out a crumpled 50 peso bill. He shook his head slowly, eyes still averted. Not money, he whispered, voice crackling like a broken radio. Your memory, what you're willing to trade to disappear from this world. I chuckled nervously, thinking he was drunk or joking. Disappear? What are you talking about? But somehow, my feet moved up the steps. Maybe fatigue, maybe the weird atmosphere sparking curiosity, or deep down, I'd wished to vanish from the pain of Alina. The door slammed shut behind me, and the bus lurched forward. Inside, it was stuffy, smelling of mold and stale smoke. About 6 or 7 passengers scattered on cracked leather seats. They were silent, heads down, no chatter, no glances. I picked a seat by the window, looked out. Familiar scenery, old streets, abandoned tracks gliding by. But the bus crawled unnaturally slow, like through mud. Streetlights flickered on off, and time. Phone still said 3:17 a.m. Odd, I thought. We've been moving at least 5 minutes. I tried calling a friend, no signal. Screen hazy, like fogged. I turned to the passenger next to me, a man my age, same shirt as mine, short hair, even posture. Excuse me, I whispered, keeping calm. Do you know where this bus is headed? No signs or anything. He lifted his head slowly, and I jolted back. His face, mine exactly. Tired eyes with dark circles, mole on left cheek, even the crooked smile. But older, bearded, skin wrinkled like decades past. To where you want to disappear, he murmured, voice identical but raspier. Where there's no more pain, no memories of Alina. My heart pounded like a drum. You know Alina. Who are you? I stammered. He didn't reply, just bowed his head. We're all one. Different choices in life. I blinked, thinking exhaustion caused hallucinations. This is a dream. I pinched my arm. It hurt. Real. I scanned the bus. Other passengers now stared, all resembling me. One younger, like me at 20, smiling but eyes sad. One elderly, hunched, trembling hands on an old newspaper. Another giggling, but the laugh twisted, pained. We've all wished to vanish at least once, the young one said. Because of Alina, the guilt panic hit. I tried standing, but legs glued heavy. Bus kept going, scenery shifting. No more modern Quezon, but old streets from the past. Saw myself as a kid, playing ball with Alina in the yard. She ran, laughed, tossed the ball. Catch it, bro. Catch it. Her voice echoed through the glass, real as day. Scene changed abruptly. Alina, at 17, at the bus stop in rain, waving, passed me, turned away, didn't follow. Bro, I'll be late. Don't worry, she called, voice lost in wind, heart clenched. Alina, I whispered, tears streaming, turned to back row. There she was. Alina in her white dress from that night, hair loose and wet, skin pale under yellow light, head down, murmuring a sad lullaby. Alina, voice broke, stumbled up, approached despite shaking limbs. She looked up, eyes, not human, black voids, sucking light. You're here, she said, soft but icy, like grave wind. Why don't you remember me? You've been here so many times. Bus jerked to stop at nameless stop in thick darkness. Driver turned, first direct look, face like ancient bark, eyes piercing under cap. Mang Ernesto, he introduced, voice gravelly. How many times have you boarded, Mateo? Each time you forget, because the fare is the memory you trade. This bus doesn't carry the dead, it carries those who've given up existing. Memories flooded like a tidal wave, 5 years ago, after Alina vanished, I stood at that stop late night, wishing to disappear from pain. Boarded, saw her, saw alternate selves, wrong life choices. If I'd picked her up, cared more. Morning after, woke home, thought dream, memories erased. Now I recalled, boarded multiple times, saw Alina each, forgot, lived in looping torment. Alina rose, approached, smiled but cold, no warmth. You've been here longer than I thought, she said, hand touching my cheek, freezing. I've been waiting. I chose to disappear because you didn't care enough. Now, you're the same. Bus rolled on, time warped, saw future, me old, alone in house, still haunted. Past, Elena's night, saw this bus distant, turned away, thought illusion. I chose to vanish, she whispered in ear. Because you left me alone. I screamed, pounded glass, didn't break, just vibrated like mocking laugh. My versions laughed too, voices blending. We're all here, forever. Bus stopped at original stop, door opened. I tumbled out, onto wet ground. Bus drove off, vanished in fog. That morning, home, tried forgetting. Opened local paper, new missing persons list. There, Mateo Cruz, missing 5 years ago, last seen at bus stop near old tracks. Looked in mirror face, older, wearier, like bus version. Now, every night, see that stop in dreams, or maybe reality. Don't know if I exist, or just passenger on that bus. Repeating, if you read this, beware wishes to vanish late night. Maybe you've boarded already, unaware, and time stuck at 3:17 a.m.